Jack and Megan were both highly motivated and goal-oriented individuals who had big dreams for their futures. They wanted to be successful and leave a lasting legacy on the world. They read all the books on success and watched all the videos they could find. They learned about goal setting and how to stay focused, and they were excited to apply this knowledge to their lives. However, despite all their efforts, neither of them ever really achieved their goals. Jack would get started on a project with great enthusiasm, but then he would quickly become bored and move on to something else. He never finished anything. And Megan would set ambitious goals for herself, but she would often procrastinate and make excuses. She never followed through. They were both intelligent and capable, but they just couldn't seem to put in the work necessary to achieve their goals. It was frustrating for them, and they felt like they were wasting their potential. And no matter what they did, they just couldn't seem to break through. So they decided to go see a doctor to figure out what was going on. The doctor performed a series of tests and told them that they were both perfectly healthy. There was nothing wrong with them physically. But after talking to them some more, he realized that there was something wrong with them mentally. Their brains weren't functioning at their full potential. And specifically, there was one area of their brain that was to blame. It was the prefrontal cortex. This is the area of the brain responsible for decision-making, planning, problem-solving, and other important functions. However, in Jack and Megan's case, their prefrontal cortex was not working properly. It was lazy and inefficient. The doctor explained that this is because their prefrontal cortex was not getting enough blood flow. When the prefrontal cortex does not get enough blood flow, it cannot function properly. It becomes lazy and inefficient, which can lead to a lack of motivation and follow-through. This is because the prefrontal cortex needs blood flow to deliver oxygen and nutrients to the brain cells so they can function properly. Without enough blood flow, the brain cells start to die and the prefrontal cortex starts to shut down. But the good news is that there are simple things that can be done to improve blood flow to the prefrontal cortex and fix this problem. And Jack and Megan were eager to try anything that could help them achieve their goals. After implementing these strategies, Jack and Megan noticed a huge difference in their ability to focus and follow through on their goals. They were finally able to achieve the success they had always dreamed of. Now that you know the science behind why you might be experiencing low motivation and a lack of follow-through, let me tell you how you can fix it. The first thing you need to do is to reduce mental stress. Mental stress can cause a lot of problems, including reducing blood flow to the prefrontal cortex. So, if you're feeling mentally stressed, it's important to take steps to relax and calm down. This could include taking deep breaths, meditating, or practicing yoga. You should also avoid caffeine and alcohol, which can make anxiety worse. Next, you need to start exercising regularly. Exercise has been shown to improve blood flow to the prefrontal cortex. So, if you want to boost your motivation and focus, it's important to get moving. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate-intensity exercise most days of the week. This could include brisk walking, cycling, or swimming. You don't have to lift weights or run long distances to see the benefits. Just getting your heart rate up for a few minutes each day can make a big difference. Getting enough sleep is also important. Most people need around 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, but some people may need more or less. It's important to listen to your body and get the amount of sleep that you need in order to feel rested and alert during the day. Too little sleep can cause a variety of problems, including reduced blood flow to the prefrontal cortex. So, if you're struggling to get enough sleep, try going to bed earlier or setting up a regular sleep schedule. Another thing you can do is eat a healthy diet. Eating a nutritious diet can help improve blood flow to the prefrontal cortex. So, if you want to boost your motivation and focus, make sure you're eating plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. Try to avoid processed foods and sugary drinks, which can cause blood sugar spikes that may reduce blood flow to the prefrontal cortex. You also need to limit screen time. Too much screen time has been linked to a number of problems, including reduced attention span and poor sleep quality. Both of these can cause a reduction in blood flow to the prefrontal cortex. So if you're spending a lot of time on your phone or in front of the TV, try cutting back and seeing if it makes a difference. Take breaks from screens and do something else for a few minutes every hour, and avoid using screens in the bedroom, which can interfere with sleep quality. You should also consider supplementing with omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3s are essential fatty acids that the body cannot produce on its own. They play an important role in brain health and function. In fact, studies have shown that people with low levels of omega-3s in their blood are more likely to experience symptoms of depression and other mental health problems. Omega-3s are typically found in foods such as fish, nuts, and seeds. However, many people do not consume enough of these foods, which can lead to a deficiency. If you think you may be deficient in omega-3s, supplementing may be a good option for you. Omega-3 supplements are available in both capsule and liquid form. It is important to follow the recommended dosage on the packaging or as directed by a healthcare professional. Finally, you can train your brain. There are certain exercises that you can do to help improve blood flow to the prefrontal cortex and boost your motivation and focus. One of the best exercises you can do is called neurofeedback. Neurofeedback is a type of biofeedback that helps you become aware of and then control your brain activity. This can be done with the help of a neurofeedback device, which provides visual or auditory feedback on your brain activity. Another exercise you can try is transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS. TMS is a non-invasive procedure that uses magnetic pulses to stimulate the prefrontal cortex. This can help improve blood flow to the area and boost motivation and focus. It's also important to note that Jack and Megan's story is not unique. In fact, it's very common for people to struggle with motivation and follow through. And sometimes this can be caused by a medical condition known as ADHD. People with ADHD often have difficulty staying focused and may impulsively switch from one task to another without finishing the first one. They may also procrastinate and avoid tasks that require sustained attention. Fortunately, there are treatments available that can help people with ADHD manage their symptoms and achieve their goals. These treatments may include a combination of medication and therapy. If you're concerned that you or someone you know may have ADHD, it's important to seek professional help. A qualified mental health provider can conduct an evaluation and make an accurate diagnosis. With the right support and treatment, people with ADHD can learn to manage their symptoms and live fulfilling lives. While this video is not intended to diagnose or treat any condition, it's important to be aware of the potential causes of low motivation and lack of follow-through. By understanding the science behind these issues, you can take steps to improve your focus and achieve your goals. Remember that everyone is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. So it's important to experiment with different strategies and find what works best for you. If you suspect you may have a medical condition, please seek professional help. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with others who may benefit. And thank you for watching.